It's like I built this channel and this whole brand around being this man's wife and trying to teach other women how to attract good men and provider men and all these different things. And I truly held my husband or saw him as the bar um, for what every woman should, type of man that or type of husband that every woman should aspire to have. And I didn't realize that the person I married was actually going to be my biggest nightmare.
All right, so I wanted to come back on and share my thoughts about this recent video from this hypergamous lifestyle influencer. She goes by the name of New Trophy Wife on YouTube, but it looks like, you know, her other moniker is also Isis. And in this video, she ends up revealing some pretty devastating details regarding the circumstances of her breakup with her husband, with the primary reason being that discovery that he SA'd their biological daughters, both of whom were under the age of 5. So I don't want to go too much into graphic detail about how she made the discovery. It is quite disturbing, and I would definitely forewarn anyone. I would make a trigger warning for anyone that hasn't yet seen the video but was in any way in the past a victim of SA. Um, the video could definitely be quite triggering. Um, so, um, but I wanted to just touch on what happened with her and how I think this news will end up impacting the online hypergamy and level up community at large. So, first, I will say this was my first time ever hearing about this woman or her channel. I actually never had heard of her before. I saw the story trending on another site and then ultimately saw the video recommended on my homepage. To be perfectly honest, I've never, well, I have, but I haven't really been paying attention to the hypergamous sector of YouTube for a few years now. Um, I was actually a very early fan of Shira 7 going back to like 2016, 2017 timeframe, where she was nowhere near as popular as she is now. But, um, I used to follow others like her, like Chloe, Chrissy, when she also started getting into more of like the hypergamy and level up content. But I eventually grew out of that sector and the advice offerings because I think much of it I just felt was common sense. And also at my core, I always knew that much of what they pushed was not really for me. I was not the target audience for the hypergamous level up sector. Because while I do only entertain men of means that have the capacity to be providers, I personally have never needed a man to take me out of poverty or keep a roof over my head. And in the early Tumblr days within the Sugar Bowl community, we had this rule of thumb where you never entertained SDs when you were in a state of desperation because desperate times cause for desperate measures. And, um, you know, I think there's like a quote I found. It was by this Greek philosopher that said, in the rush to escape fear, people often stumble into greater danger. And it is my opinion that it was desperation and fear that drove this woman, this trophy wife influencer, into the arms of danger. And for that reason, I'm very sorry for her and her children. I feel for them. I wish them all healing. And I will definitely credit her for being strong enough to leave and to tell her truth to her followers. But now, on that note, that note of truth, I saw a lot of pushback in her comments saying that she should have kept this news private, that she should not have blasted her husband in this way or exposed her children. And while I do agree she should probably take the photos down of her kids, I honestly don't believe for 1 second she should have protected this man's identity in any way or kept this story hidden. It's my opinion that what has been wrong with our society for the last century, keeping these terrible incidents hidden from the public while continuing to perpetuate this facade of these perfect relationships, a perfect marriage, which just leads to further delusion of the youth who then, foolishly chase after or aspire to have what is essentially a fake life. They are chasing this lifestyle that is not 100% realistic. You're not seeing all sides of what goes beyond the glamour. And, so for that, I am very glad that she came forward and told her truth, that she exposed this male for the monster that he is. Because the same way she came online to glamorize her lifestyle and offer coaching to other women to be able to obtain the same life as her, I think it's only right that she come on and reveal that what she was selling was all a lie, that this man was not who he claimed to be. And I honestly wish more women would be brave enough to be that honest, because there are often things happening behind closed doors that people don't want to say. But if you know people that have lived that lifestyle, you know that there's so much more that goes into it, behind the scenes. So I'm definitely grateful that she spoke her truth, and she basically blasted him. Okay, so my final takeaway from all of this is, what does this reveal from Trophy Wife mean for the greater level up and hypergamous sector at large? Because honestly, I feel like it's going to take a major hit after this. And I think that many content creators within the sector will have to come forward and speak on it. Because people love to focus on the glamorous side of Level Up, but very rarely do they want to touch on the uglier side where women are tolerating all sorts of trauma and abuse behind closed doors to mean a lifestyle. And while that might not be true for everyone, I would say it occurs a significant amount of time, enough for people to need to acknowledge it, because now, the main person, I'm not going to lie, the main person I would like to hear from about this is Shira Seven. Because, y'all, when I saw this photo of the trophy wife lady and her husband, I immediately thought of Shira and James. Like, how eerily similar is this photo to Shira and James' marriage photo? And then when you consider how Trophy Wife was a follower of Shira and really actually credits her with helping her along her level up journey and being able to land her husband, I just really feel like Shira needs to speak on this and show some support, and also caution her fans to be careful when dealing with men, these kinds of like older men. Like, here is someone who's basically a former student of yours that ended up in a messed up situation. So what do you all think? Like, do you think that Shira should come forward? Should Shira come to the mic and share her thoughts? Do you think the situation with Trophy Wife will hinder the level up movement? Please let me know your thoughts down below, and let me know if you would like another video doing more of like a deep dive into the hypergamous sectors, content creators like Shira, Chloe, Maria. I definitely want to share my faves, because while I don't really follow this sector anymore, there are certain outliers, I would say like Sass or Maria, that I do still tune into because I feel like they offer a different perspective regarding the hypergamous level up lifestyle that um, isn't pushed as often. But yeah, definitely let me know your all's thoughts. And until then, I will see you all in the next one.